The other day, we got hit with a giant snowstorm. We had over 2 feet of snow dumped on us overnight. It feels like we've had a snowstorm almost every weekend this year, followed by beautiful temps in the mid 60s. I'm honestly really over the snow, and now that I have a community garden plot, I cannot wait to start my seeds and get the gardening process going. Very little things bring me as much joy than watching seedlings emerge from the soil. I hope you can enjoy the first bits of gardening with me as April approaches, and very soon it will be May and we can plant things outside. For now, I'm gonna have to live with lots and lots of little seedling babies until it is warm enough to get them out there. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoy it. I am soaking these Jiffy pots. I've had these things for years, and by years I mean literally like 10 years, and I really want to get rid of them. I bought a pack of 100 and these are the last bits of it. Once they absorb with water, they will puff up to like a little thing that you can put a seed in, and that is what I'm going to use for some of the seed starting. This is my seed starting station. It's on my dining room table. And I have my little tarp thingy, I don't know what you call it, but it snaps on the corners and you can do stuff inside of it and dirt won't spill all over the place. I got it on Amazon and I'll link it in the description. I also have these pots as well. I have so many of these, so I'm gonna try to get through these and the Jiffy pot things before I get like a soil blocking device. I also have this is just potting soil and I found it in my gardening box. It is probably not the correct soil to start seeds in, but this is all I have right now, and I'm going to use this up first. I am planting 23 seeds today. Some of these are going to be going into the community garden and some will be going on to the patio garden. So we are going to plant bell peppers first. These are definitely not my favorite type of pots. I feel like they get moldy really easily with all of the moisture and warmth, so I'm definitely going to have to watch out for that. These 3 are going to be a lilac bell pepper. I do 3 per hole just in case for insurance, and also I'm only going to plant 2, but I'm also making an extra one here just in case. Next up is orange bell pepper. These are mini sweet peppers, I believe, or it just says sweet pepper. Pretty and sweet hybrid. I don't know, I had it in my collection and I didn't grow them last year, so I'd like to see what these are about. This is gonna be zucchini. I'm growing 2 zucchini plants this year. I did 2 last year and we got so many, it was amazing. I am also doing yellow crookneck squash this year. I did not do that last year, and I'm also gonna do 2 plants of that. I decided to label every single one of them because I just know things are gonna get shuffled throughout the season and I know for sure I'm gonna lose which ones are which, so I decided to just label them all. This next one is dazzling blue kale. It's kind of like curly kale, but it has a blue vein running down the middle, and I'm planting 3 of those. This is dinosaur kale. I'm also growing 3 of these. Looks like I'm gonna have to make another tray. I'm gonna put one of the dinosaur kales in here and see how it grows compared to the other ones that are in pots. Next up is collard greens. I grew these last year and they were like okay, but they had a huge issue with the cabbage butterflies. So I'm gonna see if my netting will kind of work better this year. Maybe I can get an actual good harvest of collard greens. Next up are tomatoes. I'm doing this spoon tomato that I got for free at Baker Creek. I'm gonna put it on the porch and see what it'll give me. They're really tiny, tiny seeds. This is Gardener's Delight tomato. I planted this last year and my plant got really leggy, so I didn't really have much of a yield, unfortunately. I'm gonna try to see what I can do this year with these, and I think I'm gonna put them on the porch as well. Now, this one is new to me. It is an heirloom rainbow blend tomato. It is a blend of determinate and indeterminate tomatoes, which is a little scary. I guess we'll see what colors we get. It's always exciting when you do a rainbow blend because you just never know what the colors are going to be of the fruit or vegetable, so I'm very excited to see what colors we get this season. And the last of the tomato is a San Marzano paste tomato. I did grow Romas last year and I got a few. I can't remember how much I got in pounds, but I will put up on the screen how much I got in pounds of Roma tomatoes. I'm hoping to get way more this year, definitely. I'm also doing 2 plants of each tomato. I don't want it to get too out of hand, but I do definitely want to get a bunch of tomatoes so I can can them. I'm doing eggplant. This is early long purple eggplant. It is a container variety, so it's going to be a little bit smaller than most eggplant plants, I hope. It takes 70 days to harvest, so I'm hoping to get some eggplants this year. I got no eggplants last year. 0. I had 3 plants and I got nothing. It was really, really sad. I am also going to grow some cucumbers this year. I grew 2 cucumber plants last year. These are pick-a-bushel cucumbers. I like to pick them when they're really young because I love sweet gherkins so much. And I got like 4 jars, I think, last year of sweet gherkins, and they're all gone now. So I'm going to do 2 plants again this year. And I hope, since I'm starting them early, I will get way more cucumbers than last year. It has been a couple days. I soaked these beans overnight, so I'm gonna plant those. These are purple green beans. They're like burgundy bush beans. And then I found some white beans in my gardening box. I believe I found them in the community garden, just like in the wood chip area. I don't know what they are, but we're gonna plant those also. Probably should have drained these before I came over here. Actually, I'll just drain them into the soil bag. The soil's so super dry anyway. It needs moisture. All right, these brown ones are the purple bush beans. These are the mystery beans right here. I'm gonna plant 2 of the bigger ones and see what happens. I'm labeling it the mystery bean. Now we have a lot of flowers and herbs to plant. This is viola. It is a tiger leta. It is from Baker Creek. I went to the Baker Creek seed shop in Mansfield last June. I'm from Kansas City, so we went to Kansas City for our birthdays and decided to take a trip down to visit Baker Creek, and we got so many seeds. This is one of them, but I think I'm going to have them on the patio, and they should be so beautiful. I'm very excited to see how these grow. I think I'm going to only plant 3 pots of this. It says that they need to be on the surface. I guess I just press them into the surface. Next up, we are going to plant wild bergamot. I think this is also called bee balm. I've never grown it before. I'm excited to see what happens. It says it attracts hummingbirds and other pollinators, so definitely would like this. It's also known as wild bee balm. Ooh, these are tiny. It says surface to 1/16 of an inch. I don't know how many of these I should plant. Maybe just 1? I could always plant more. Oh, I was supposed to put them on the surface. Oh no. There, those are definitely on the surface. Kind of tap them down a bit. We have parsley next. Very excited for parsley. I would love to have parsley on the patio and at the community garden. It says sow 1/8 under topsoil so direct light can still reach the seeds. Okay, so it really needs to be like on top, just barely. I decided to plant 2 more pots of parsley. I just feel like I want a lot of it. I want to be dehydrating parsley all summer long. We are going to grow echinacea this year. Purple coneflower. I have never grown this. Pretty big seeds there. I think I want to do 3. I'm going to grow lemon balm this year. I have not grown it before. I do know it spreads really easily, so I'm going to definitely keep it in a pot. I might do just 1. Just going to dump a whole bunch of seeds in there and hope for the best. This is catnip, another herb that spreads really fast. I think I want 2 of these. I use catnip for insomnia, or it can help treat insomnia. I haven't used it yet because I don't have enough of it. I didn't really grow enough of it last year. I actually started some like mid-season and it just did not get big enough. Next we have feverfew, which is a medicinal herb or a medicinal flower, I guess. I've never grown it before. I tried last year, but again, I did it near the end of the season, so it just did not grow. This says to press into the surface, so very gently. Ooh, they're so tiny. Ooh, oh, that's a lot. I don't know how many I want to plant of these. I think I want to do 2. I believe feverfew can help with headaches, maybe migraines, other stuff, I'm not really sure. Next we have stevia, which I believe is an extremely difficult herb to grow. There's only 10 in here, I believe, and it was $3.49. No, 12 seeds and it was $3.49. I think this was the best deal I could find find online. They're really expensive. It says 1/8 of an inch or barely cover. Thinning not required. That's interesting. It also says that it has a naturally low germination rate. Sow heavily. Be patient as germination may be staggered over several weeks. I don't really know what that means. So we're gonna try. We're gonna really try and see what we can get from this. It comes in this little bag that's inside the seed packet. I tried to grow these last year and I got nothing, so let's see what we can do this year. I'm probably gonna plant the whole thing just so we can have a better germination rate. We have 9 seeds here. Well, I kind of want to do 3. That makes like the most sense. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do 2 pots. Even though I can't split it evenly, we'll see. We'll see. There's 4, that's 5, and then I'm just gonna kind of lightly tap them. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. Stevia. Okay, we'll see what that does. I hope I can get something from it. It'd be really cool to have my own stevia leaves. I do like stevia. I like the taste of it. It doesn't bother me or whatever. Some people hate it, but I like it. It's really not bad. Now, I have this right here. I got this from Blue Pumpkin Seed Company. I'm not really sure. I'll put it up on the screen. It's a local company to Colorado, and it is fireweed seeds. All it says here is fireweed flower, germination, approximately 97%. Oh, here we go. BluePumpkinSeedCo.com, and they're very small seeds. I don't really know much about this. I'm gonna have to look this up really quick and see how I'm supposed to plant it. All right, it does say that fireweed seeds do best with a cold, moist treatment for 4 weeks prior to planting, or directly sow the herb seeds outdoors, probably when it's cold out. Interesting. I guess I'll have to put these in a pot and maybe put them outside. I'll have to figure something out. Okay, we are outside and I have new soil because I ran out of the old stuff. This is the new stuff that I just bought at that garden center we went to. This is natural and organic potting mix plus fertilizer. This is kind of the only normal one they had. It'll work. So we're just gonna press these into the soil. Very tiny seeds. Oh my god, did I just pour all of those out on? Okay. I poured a lot of them into this one, so I hope that this one gets some of them. Now, I'm gonna leave the fireweed out here. I'm going to make sure the soil is very moist so it'll germinate, and I think I'm gonna put it into a more decorative pot, maybe to help with the soil retaining moisture. It's supposed to be like in the 60s to high 60s the next few days, so I hope that doesn't interrupt the cold thing that this is doing. I think it's stratification, something like that. All right, I'm just gonna keep them in these pots even though they don't fit really well. I'm just gonna keep them in here so they're not getting blown around all over the place, and I'm also going to water them right now. All right, I guess I'll just set them there and we'll see what happens. These are the seeds that we planted a couple days ago. None of them have sprouted except for one, kind of, a collard green. The seed was kind of on the surface and it is sprouting just a little bit, so this one might be first. Very fast. I do have a heating mat on underneath and I'm watering them multiple times throughout the day, just making sure the soil is moist. These little things, I hate them. They keep soaking up all the water and they're very soggy, so I've been trying to dry those out as best as I can. Ooh, this is a cucumber and I do see a little something. Cover that up a little bit. So excited to see the sprouts popping up. That's like my favorite part about gardening. I'm definitely going to be taking some GoPro time lapses whenever they do start popping up, so look out for that. I wanted to show you this thing that is in my greenhouse. Well, I'm keeping it in my greenhouse. I usually keep it around the house just wherever I need it, usually around a lot of plants. I don't know if you can see it, but it has a blue light here, and there's a fan, and the fan is sucking in this way, so bugs get attracted to the light, and then they get sucked down into the fan, and they come down here, and then they get stuck on this sticky thing. I just put a new one in yesterday, and this is what it looks like. Oh, so gross. I'm gonna put a new one in here, and then we will check it back later and see how many flies I got. This might seem really gross, but I have so many houseplants. What comes with having houseplants is fungus gnats. They're not really fruit flies, but fungus gnats. So they live, I think, like on the plant surface, or they lay eggs on the plant surface, something like that. I know that's disgusting, but that's how it is. They're really difficult to get rid of. How to get rid of them, you have to let the plants dry out completely, but a lot of my plants are sensitive and I can't have them dry out completely, and I don't know which ones have the fungus gnats. So therefore, we just have these things around. We also have ones that they plug in, they light up, and they have a sticky thing in the outlets, and that also helps get the fungus gnats. I'm gonna peel that off. I'm gonna put this right in there, and I will check back in a few hours and see how many flies we got. It is the next day. I actually closed the greenhouse cover yesterday to keep some of the moisture and heat in for the seeds, so it didn't collect a lot of bugs, but then I opened it for the nighttime, and let's see how many bugs we got in here. Okay, a decent amount, kind of. It definitely works. I usually like to leave this in here until there are tons of bugs on here to get the most use out of one of these little sticky things, so it's not so wasteful, but this device definitely works for sure. That is my bug catching update. Hope you enjoyed. I've had about 4 or 5 hoyas, and this one is actually my newest one, and it is blooming. I can't believe it. There's one right there, and I actually have 4 more. There's one right there. Here's another one right there. I think that is one right there that's growing. And I think that's it for peduncles. That is what they're called, peduncle. I love the name. I'm so excited to see what color the blooms are gonna be on this hoya, and I will be tracking the process as it happens. The hoya is in full bloom. Oh, look at that. It smells like sweet jasmine. It's so very floral. Oh, it smells amazing. Would love to just make a fragrance out of this scent. It smells heavenly. Wow. I hope you can see that. The back of the flower looks fuzzy almost. So cool. Wow. Beautiful. This right here is also a peduncle, and it will be giving us flowers very soon. So excited about that. As well as this one right there. This is the mother plant. It is a Hoya croniana. Croniana. I think that's how you say it. It has almost been 1 week since I have planted the kale and the collard greens right here. I also have some violas, parsley, and bergamot in here. I lumped some of the colder weather vegetables and herbs, flowers, whatever, together, and the warm weather ones are on the top shelf here. Collard greens were the first to pop up, and then the dazzling blue and the dinosaur kale. One thing about the dazzling blue kale is this one is purple right here. It's so pretty, but it is the only one out of the dazzling blues that have popped up that is purple. They have kind of like a pink purpley stem and green leaves on top, but this one, maybe they get purple when they get older, and maybe this one's just older than the other ones, but it is purple. It's so cool. I love it. beautiful. So far, those are the only ones that have sprouted on this shelf. Up here, we don't have anything sprouting except for cucumber. I can see the stem coming out of the soil actually on both of the cucumbers. So I do have my GoPro set up over here on a time lapse, and I'm hoping to get the cucumber emerging from the soil. But so far, out of all of the warm weather veggies up here, only the cucumber is popping up. I do have a little bit of mold issues on these little pots here. You can see right there, these are tomatoes. I think if I spray hydrogen peroxide on there, it gets rid of the mold, or at least that's what I've seen with houseplants. So I might try that. Well, I'm gonna look it up first and then I will try it. That is why I hate these pots right here. If you don't have a perfectly controlled environment, they are going to mold, mildew, whatever, and it's not good. I don't like it. A little bit of flies coming around here. Please leave. And I have a little temperature thing over here, and it says that it's 72 degrees on the top here and 47% humidity. So down here we have, well, an extra tray. This thing that catches flying bugs like fungus gnats that I have kind of all over the house. And that's what it looks like. It looks like we caught a moth right there. Poor thing. We did have the door open the other night, so that kind of makes sense, but this thing caught it, which is nice. I also have a fan here. This is actually an air filter, but it has a fan on top. I keep it here for air circulation, and I will also shut the greenhouse and kind of put it over this thing so it'll continue to get air in there even when the greenhouse is shut. Here's a better look at the cucumber. So exciting. I hope I didn't plant these too early. Part of me is kind of scared to have things growing way too big, way too early. Mid-May is my last frost date, so we have a good 2 months until any of these things can go outside. Any of the things on top, at least. This should be an interesting season. This is the first time in a very long time that I have planted all of my plants from seeds. Last year I did just a little bit, and then I had to buy them because I was very late into gardening season. So this year I definitely wanted to do everything from seed, and I will take lots of notes for next year on when the best time to plant everything indoors will be. I am in zone 6A in Colorado, and our weather is very up and down constantly, and also a little bit unpredictable. Surprise snowstorms are definitely a thing. I have to be very careful about when I plant my warm weather vegetables outside. I also want to say that I don't think I have enough light. As much as I want to think that I do have enough light, I don't think I do have enough light. This is the current setup. It is one flat light there, and I have one on each shelf. I also have this little side lamp over here that has a grow light in it. I currently have it concentrated on the kale and collards right here because I want to make sure they're getting enough light. These ones right here, though, are making me a little afraid that I'm gonna have too leggy of plants. Like they're going to be way too stretched out and not strong. I'm not really sure what to do about that right now at this very moment. I can't really fix it. This greenhouse does get evening sun, which is nice, but I just don't think it's enough. Wish me luck on these seedlings becoming strong and plentiful adults.